Write the vision, make it plain. I am Dr. Estella Conwill Majozo, and this is Profile of a Writer. Today I'm presenting my book, Create and Live, Why Don't You? Create and Live, Why Don't You? And it basically investigates my life as a teacher and as a collaborative artist with my brothers and as a theater person with different dancers, actors, and I've taken metaphors from each one, but I like this first one in here, the mentor-mentee. One day after teaching, I watched my students begin to shine right in front of me, then one by one, lift from their seats and fly out into the open sky. I gathered my books, glad that they had gotten the message that vision is the seed of life, that the civil rights movement had amazing creativity undergirding it, that the protesters had breathed life into old songs, created new ones, and given speeches that made everybody dream. We had studied Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s Letter from a Birmingham Jail and Dudley Randall's Ballad of Birmingham, and still had enough time to pen the first draft of a poem on the era. It was a good class, a gratifying class, until I turned and saw a young woman standing at the door with tears in her eyes. "What's wrong?" I asked her. She answered, "I'm not a poet, not an artist. I feel so out of place." Her answer ripped me apart. Art is supposed to inspire us. It's supposed to motivate us to lift whatever we are doing to a level of artistry. It's supposed to arouse us to think and come up with innovative ways to fashion whole new worlds. It's not supposed to leave one feeling little and left out. I had to tell this young woman that becoming a lawyer is more than okay. It is a sacred calling. I had to tell her that lawyers were a necessary part of the harvest we enjoy today. I not only needed to tell her just as important, I needed to see it anew. A symbiotic process, mentor-mentee. The mentoring process is symbiotic. At its best, it empowers both the mentee and the mentor. I needed to say this to the young woman in a way that would last the rest of her life and would be with me every time I taught again. That after all the marching, singing, defying, jailing was done, the demonstrators would still have been in jail today if there had not been creative, effectual lawyers to orchestrate their release. We needed political strategies, community organizers, healers, and teachers to lend their strength to the cause. We needed generals who could prepare the foot soldiers to resist the abuse they were bound to face. I had to tell this young woman who was feeling abandoned at the brink of what should have been her dawn that the 250,000 people who had come to the March on Washington needed drivers, planners, guards, and thrones of believers to make the movement successful. Each of us has a gift, and it is up to us to recognize it, get the skill necessary to develop it, and share it with the world. I could have missed the opportunity. She could have decided not to examine why the class discussion was messing with her mind. She could have dangled outside the discussion instead of giving both of us the opportunity to make this anomaly a new dynamic. The mentor-mentee exchanges are symbiotically empowering. We cross each other's paths and exchange in ways that can shift lives. The more conscious we are of the possibilities, the richer the exchange, and the less likely we are to treat the opportunities lightly. I watched the light shine in this young woman's eyes. Then I watched her lift up and fly out like all the others. Thank you. This is from the book Create and Live, Why Don't You? Okay? It is put out by Africa Tree Press. Thank you.